Grand Touring Motorsports started as a social group of car enthusiasts, but we've expanded into all sorts of motorsports disciplines, and we want to share our stories with you. Years of racing, wrenching, and motorsports experience brings together a top-notch collection of knowledge and information through our podcast, Break Fix.
The following episode is brought to you by SRO Motorsports America and their partners at AWS, Crowdstrike, Fanatec, Pirelli, and the Skip Barber Racing School. Be sure to follow all the racing action by visiting www.sro-motorsports.com or take a shortcut to gtamerica.us. And be sure to follow them on social at GT_America on Twitter and Instagram, at SRO GT America on Facebook, and catch live coverage of the races on their YouTube channel at GT World.
Hey everybody, Crew Chief Eric here. We are on site at VIR with Honda Performance Development along with James Nazarian, the head of...
I'm the program manager for our touring car development projects.
That's right, part of the TC America series here at SRO. And so we're going to be talking about the new entry for this season, the brand new Honda Civic that you can pick up to run in the touring car series. So let's kind of talk about the car, what it offers, how to get into it, all the special features.
Sure. So this is the latest generation of our Civic SI-based touring car, the TCA class in the TC America series. Car's heavily based on the Civic SI, modified for racing. We sell them complete turnkey, ready to compete. You can buy them directly from Honda Performance Development, either through a phone or through our website.
Obviously, we're looking at the sedan version. We've seen out on the racetrack that there's the hatchback still running out there. Is that available as well, or is they all going to be four-door based sedans now?
So this car is replacing the 10th generation Civic TCA car. We built those TCA cars, the previous gen, all from two-door coupes. We have the Type R is racing in the TC class above this, which is the five-door. For the 11th generation in the TCA class, they're all going to be the four doors.
So how different is the Touring Car America Honda Civic than something you would buy at your local Honda dealership?
We try to keep this car as close to stock as we can. About 80% of it is still exactly the same as what you'd get on your street car. We do that for a couple of reasons. It keeps the cost down as an entry point into professional racing, and then also it just makes sourcing parts and maintaining the cars that much easier.
So why don't we take a tour around the car and talk about the things that you guys did change to make it qualify for the Touring Car Series. Obviously, we could start with the brakes and tires that it comes equipped with and then kind of go from there.
That's right, yeah. So we upgrade the brakes to a two-piece hat and rotor, multi-piston caliper in the front. The wheels, the tires are determined by the series. You know, here in the SRO, we run the Pirelli tires. We also do some suspension upgrades, springs, dampers, a little bit toe and camber adjustability, things like that.
How are the new Hondas on consumables? How are guys doing throughout the season? Front-wheel drives are notorious for being heavy on tires and brakes and things like that.
Yep. You know, this car, the changes that the road car has made, a little bit longer wheelbase, a little bit wider rear track width, a couple other things, but you know, on those two items in particular, has had a surprisingly large change on the race cars. And what we're seeing is better tire wear, better brake wear. And the old cars were, by no means were they bad about it, but we've definitely seen a step forward to improve that. Ultimately, we're out here, drivers are pushing the cars to the limit, maybe a little beyond the limit. So we go through a lot of tires and brakes. Normally, if you stay on the pavement, don't go through a lot of other parts.
We also noticed in watching the cars going through, you know, the tighter sections of the track, front-wheel drives are notorious for tripoding or picking up the rear wheel, right? And the joke has always been you're never going fast enough in a front-wheel drive if you're not on three wheels. But we don't see a lot of that with the new Civics. Is that because of the new chassis, the longer wheelbase, and the wider rear track?
It's a little bit also of just how we set these cars up. We set them up a little bit stiffer, as a lot of drivers refer to it as better platform support or stability. It helps allow the car to change directions faster. So you don't see the big roll angles and lifting the rear wheel
throttle
way off the
oversteer.
ground.
Yeah.
The biggest change that we really make, most visible, is the interior.
Okay.
Obviously, completely stripped out, multi-point roll cage, you know, and then your normal racing safety equipment, your seat, your 6-point harness, the window nets, things like that. In our case, this has a passenger seat in it, but normally the car would just be delivered with the single driver's seat.
And with a manual transmission to boot.
That's right, with 6-speed manual transmission.
The big question is, what does it weigh now that it's been stripped down?
These bodies are built specifically for us, for racing. So these are taken directly from the factory that's building the street cars. We have them done without sunroofs, without a lot of the sound deadening and undercoating materials.
So it's what they consider a white body car,
That's
right?
correct, yes. So it's a white body car. That body is built exclusively for HPD. Then we build them up into the race car that you see from there. By the time you put the roll cage, all the safety equipment into it, we are 200 to 300 pounds lighter than the street car.
So weighing just under 3,000 pounds then.
I believe we are in the 2,700 pound range. 26? There we go. 2,600.
So all of the drivetrain, powertrain, the turbo, all of that stuff is still from the factory?
The engine is completely from the factory. We make some upgrades on the transmission, higher strength fourth gear, as well as a different differential. It's a lot more aggressive, and it's tunable for racing.
And I'm assuming a lot more endurance parts are in there, better intercoolers, cooling, piping, things like that. Obviously, heat is the enemy. We want to get rid of that as quickly as possible.
That's right. Heat really is the enemy. Believe it or not, we do leave a lot of those parts production. The intercooler, the radiator, coming from the street car directly. We do make some changes to the exhaust for a little bit freer flowing. On the intake side, that's all completely stock.
So what else has been done for balance of performance with these cars against, let's say, the rear-wheel drive competitors or the Mini Coopers or any of the other entries that you see here at SRO?
Balance of performance-wise, we have homologated 5 different power levels with the ECU. We give those to the customers that are going to go racing with the SRO. The series will determine which one will be in. As well, there's a minimum weight that they can control, and then ride heights, things like that. By making all of that adjustable, then the SRO can determine what the settings will be, and that helps to keep the competition level between all the different cars.
Now, we've heard from Jim Jordan that a lot of times the front-wheel drives are given a power advantage over the rear-wheel drive cars. Is that the case with the Honda?
It's hard to say exactly what the power is. I don't know precisely the numbers from any of our competitors. But as far as straight line speeds, it depends on the track, but generally it's very minimal. Because this car handles so well, as some people would expect, a rear-wheel drive car is normally considered to be a better handling car. But this car handles so well that the goal of balance of performance is to have similar lap times. And we all make that lap time slightly differently. But we don't need a big straight line advantage because we have a very good handling car. Ultimately, it ends up being even that much easier to go racing against those cars.
So here at VIR this weekend, as we watch the TC race and the TC America race, we obviously looking at those top speeds we were talking about, cars are very close. It looks like the Hyundais had a slight advantage, almost a mile an hour quicker than the Hondas down the back straight. Do you see Hyundai as your number one competitor here, or who's the biggest rival against the Civics?
I think for right now, it's definitely the BRZs.
The BRZs?
The new one. In the 2 events we've had at Sonoma and at NOLA, it's been back and forth between the Skip Barber team racing our new Civic and the BRZs running with Tech Sport.
We talk about getting ourselves into a HPD Civic. Why choose this over anything else?
Well, in part, we're standing in front of this large Acura trailer. We're here at these events offering technical support, parts sales. We've got myself as the program manager. We have engineers here that can help you to diagnose your car, to look at your data, understand what's going on, and try to make it a more successful experience for our customers.
Let's talk about getting into the driver's seat of a Civic. Now, you said it's based on a factory car, but you can't walk up to your local Honda dealership and say, I want an HPDE TC America Honda Civic. How do you go about getting one of these cars?
Unfortunately, you cannot go to the dealer and pick one up. You have to get it directly from us at HPD.
Okay.
So the easiest way is either to call us or email us with the contact information that I know you're going to provide. But yeah, that's the best way. We can talk to you directly, make sure that you're getting exactly what you need.
What's the entry price point on the new Civic?
So this car will sell for $55,000 plus tax, and then you'll arrange the pickup of the car.
But it's a turnkey race car. All you need to do is supply the driver, the team, and all the consumables.
That's right.
When you purchase a TC America Honda Civic from HPD, are there any options? Is there anything people should know about that they can add to the car, or does it pretty much come as is?
It pretty much comes as is, ready to race with the SRO in the TCA class. So we've homologated the car, all the parts that are on it. We do have, for instance, a different seat, a larger seat, if that's something you're looking for. If you're looking to take it racing other places, we have some additional parts that can potentially...
A bit of a trunk kit, if you will, right?
Well... Parts that we wouldn't use in TCA, but that we're able to use from other projects different stabilizer bars, some other handling parts, things like that. If you're looking to go somewhere else, that we may be able to help you out.
With the introduction of the new Integra, is there going to be an HPD version of that car as well? I mean, they're very similar at the end of the day, right? And we are standing under the Acura booth here as well. What is going to be different? Is that going to be available as well to folks that prefer the Integra over the Civic?
Well, unfortunately, I can't say anything about Integra right now.
No futures. That's okay.
No.
Well, with that being said, any other shout-outs, promotions, or anything that we should know about with respect to the HPD program or the new Honda Civic?
Well, I would encourage everybody to check it out. Visit our website. You can see this car. You can see the current TC Type R, as well as, a number of our Pinnacle products. We're involved all the way up to IndyCar and sports car racing. A lot you can check out on our website. The car is a fantastic car. I would encourage everybody to run out and buy one.
All right, and one bonus question for our listeners who might be looking at the video behind the scenes and not listening to the audio version of this. What's the significance behind the number 93 on this car? I know the answer, but let's see if some of our listeners know.
All right, well, the 93 is the year Honda Performance Development was founded.
So you guys are celebrating almost 30 years. It will be 30 years next year.
We certainly are.
Well, congratulations.
It doesn't feel like that long, but yes.
Well, here's to 30 more birthdays, right?
Oh, I appreciate it.
And
Thank you.
ongoing success this weekend here at SRO at VIR. So, James, I cannot thank you enough for coming on Break Fix and giving us a tour of the new car and telling us, some of the really cool things that are happening and how the program is developing out and how other people can get involved in TC America with Honda Civics.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you're looking to get into touring car racing here in the United States, be sure to check out the latest from Honda Performance Development. You can visit their website at hpd.honda.com and then click on racing programs to discover more about the brand new Honda Civic SI available for TC America under SRO Motorsports. You can also learn more about HPD by following them on social at Honda Racing HPD on Facebook, at Honda Racing _HPD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as their YouTube channel, Honda Racing HPD TV. And if you want to speak to James directly, you can reach him at Nazarian at hra.com. That's JNAZARIAN at hra.com. The following episode is brought to you by SRO Motorsports America and their partners at AWS, Crowdstrike, Fanatec, Pirelli, and the Skip Barber Racing School. Be sure to follow all the racing action by visiting www.sro-motorsports.com or take a shortcut to gtamerica.us. And be sure to follow them on social at GT_America on Twitter and Instagram, at SRO GT America on Facebook, and catch live coverage of the races on their YouTube channel at GT World.
If you like what you've heard and want to learn more about GTM, be sure to check us out on www.gtmotorsports.org. You can also find us on Instagram at Grand Touring Motorsports. Also, if you want to get involved or have suggestions for future shows, you can call or text us at 202-630-1770 or send us an email at crewchief@gtmotorsports.org. We'd love to hear from you.
Hey everybody, Crew Chief Eric here. We really hope you enjoyed this episode of Break Fix, and we wanted to remind you that GTM remains a no annual fees organization, and our goal is to continue to bring you quality episodes like this one at no charge. As a loyal listener, please consider subscribing to our Patreon for bonus and behind-the-scenes content, extra goodies, and GTM swag. For as little as $2.50 a month, you can keep our developers, writers, editors, casters, and other volunteers fed on their strict diet of Fig Newtons, gummy bears, and Monster. Consider signing up for Patreon today at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. And remember, without fans, supporters, and members like you, none of this would be possible.